That is where the head coach of the 20-0, number 4 ranked San Diego State Aztecs is standing by. We welcome him back to the airwaves. Coach Steve Fisher. Coach, good morning.
Hello, Scott, BR. How are you guys?
Coach, we're doing really well. Yourself?
Fine, thanks.
How'd the trip go, Coach? No problems?
Absolutely no problem. Got in here early evening, and we're preparing for breakfast and getting ready for the day.
Coach, how big of a game is this, or are we making too much of one regular season conference game?
I think a little of both, Scott. I think it's nice that it's garnering up this much attention, including nationally. You've seen on some of the national shows where the little scroll underneath, they're teasing our game, and they're not even carrying it. So it's a big game. It's 20-0, 19-1, 4th ranked, 9th ranked. Going to have 22,000. Trying to both of us win the conference. So we've got a lot of dynamics to it. But again, we have 2 more games before the first round or first half of our conference season is completed. And both of us have a lot of games to play. So, but for the moment, it's the most important game on the planet for us.
Yeah, and Coach, as far as you're trying to keep your team relaxed and ready to perform, once the ball is tossed up. But what about you? I mean, how do you keep yourself calm and ready to go and ready to perform once the whistle blows?
Well, 40 years of experience, I guess. But I'm like everybody. I was nervous my first JV varsity when I was a JV coach, and 12 people were in the gym. But when the tip-off comes up, you seem to kind of immerse yourself in the game, and you don't really feel the dynamics of how big, quote, the game is. You just go out and do what you've done for a long, long time, and that's have fun and play basketball. And hopefully we'll be able to do that against a terrific team. You guys know that.
Yeah, we're talking to Coach Fisher this morning. San Diego State versus BYU, number 4 versus number 9, 20-0 versus 19-1. It's being billed as the biggest game in Mountain West Conference history. Coach, let's talk a little bit about their star player, Jimmer Fredette, because that seems to be...
Well, now, wait a second. That's their only player, isn't it?
Well, Coach, that's it. I mean, can you scout for all of the fans listening this morning? Other than Fredette, who everybody knows, tell us more about this BYU team.
I have said that. If Fredette were the only person that we had to worry about, I think we could find a way to win the game. But they have the career steal leader in Jackson Emery, broke Danny Ainge's steal record. He not only does that, but he's the second leading scorer at about 15 points a game. He's a dynamite three-point shooter. And he's a senior that started every game for 4 years also. And then you have Hartsock, who doesn't look as if he looks like he should be in the old man's league, and that's how he plays. He's as smart as a whip. You leave him open, he makes a shot. He's quick, he's strong, he's smart. And they got a young sophomore in Davies in the post who I don't look forward to watching as he grows and develops his game over the next 2 years. So they have a lot of angles and ways to hurt you. They're the best fast-breaking team in the country. They have to be. They score over 90 points a game at home. So they score not only three-pointers, but they score layups off the break. And so they've got more than one player for sure.
Coach, playing there is apparently a very difficult thing to do, considering, number one, San Diego State is 3-28 all-time in their building. Number two, you in your career at San Diego State only have one victory there. That came in 2005. And as I understand it, they've won 53 straight games inside their building. Why is it so difficult to play there?
First, it's the players. They've got a storied program. They get players, and they are very well coached. Dave Rose has done a sensational job with this team, as has his staff. And you know, those are the main ingredients. Obviously, the altitude. You travel distance to go there. Everybody talks about that. There'll be over 22,000 people there, which helps a little bit. But I think the main ingredient is how good their players are and how well coached their players are.
Well, now here comes your team. well coached, well conditioned, a lot of talent, seniors, experienced. You feel like your team is ready for this challenge, I assume?
We are ready. We're excited. We're looking forward to the opportunity to play, and we will play like it's no tomorrow. And it's fun. These kinds of games are exciting for all sides. Doesn't matter whether you're a player in the game, you're a student back on campus, you're a graduate, you're a sports writer, you're a talk show host. These are the kinds of games that get you excited. You don't have to say, what can I do to really make this sound like it's important? It is important.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it is huge.
Coach, do you have a page, do you have a file when you get to the big game, whatever it is, whoever it's against, where you go back to the big file and you pull out that one pregame talk, and you know it works, and it's money, and you can just pull that talk out, and it'll work every time?
My best pregame talk probably could be, I'm going to have my first sub be Chris Webber and my second sub be Cassie Russell. How would that be? Having players, you'll give them a few things, food for thought, and I don't know. I think even in football, which is your sport for the two of you, you can get that rah-rah sport and run through the door, but that emotion wears off about 10 plays in, right. I think, and then you play on toughness and experience and execution and all of that stuff, and hopefully that'll happen. Sometimes these games, because you're so excited to play, if you're not careful, turn into trying to do things too fast, and you look bad early because you haven't settled down and settled in. You take quick bad shots, you turn it over, you make some fouls that are not characteristic of how you play. Hopefully that won't happen with us, with a lot of veteran players, but you have to be careful a little bit about that.
Coach, will you talk to this team at all during the day about, and I guess they obviously know it, how huge this game is. They're in their hotel rooms right now. They've got SportsCenter on. They see the scroll underneath the screen. But, there's this story that there's going to be 25-plus NBA scouts in the stands. Just how huge this game is, not only to this season, not only to the future of the program, but to their individual futures.
Now you're making it up bigger than it is. I'll be real honest with you. It ain't all that big.
Yeah. Because
those same scouts, they've seen us before. They've seen Fredette before. They'll be back again, regardless of how this game turns out. And also, we play them again in Viejas Arena. No matter what happens, we play them again. And we have the potential to play them a third time in the conference tournament. So it's a big game. Well, it's a game. So that's how we have to approach it. And we're very excited about playing, and, we'll be jumping out of our skin before the game a little bit. But, again, game starts, you settle down, and you play. See,
that's why, and we'll finish right here, because that's where we started. Is this game as big as we're hyping it to be, right, or is it just another game? And, look, the reality is that win the game, a lot of people are going to go, wow, San Diego State's for real. They beat BYU on the road. Lose the game, there's going to be a lot of people around the country who go, see,
right.
But it's still, regardless of ranking, it's just one game. And that's really all it is.
It's a game that it's good for San Diego State. It's good for us in so many different ways, Scott and DR. We have grown in this year in our awareness nationally, and I think that's fantastic for not only today, tomorrow, but the future of the program. Who knows what young kid someplace else in the country might watch this game tonight and say, boy, I like how DJ Gay plays, or I love what Tim Shelton's doing, and say, I might want to take a look at that school. So I think the residual of what happens in this game, no matter what happens on the court tonight, is a positive and is a win-win for us for sure, and probably for BYU also.
Yep. Hey, Coach, before you go, there's a report in today's newspaper that Michigan State and North Carolina are going to play on an aircraft carrier in San Diego on Veterans Day 2011. Have you heard anything about this, number one? And number two, I mean, to me, it's so obvious. Why wouldn't San Diego State be playing in that game?
I agree with you. I've not heard anything about it, but I would say the same thing. Why wouldn't we? Neither team would play. I tried desperately to get Tom Izzo and Michigan State to play us. They were in Maui this year. 2 years ago, when he knew he was going, he gave me a verbal, we'll play you either going or coming, but when the time came, he wouldn't return the phone call, and we couldn't play them. So we would love to do that. Obviously, it would be a natural for us.
Just brutal to read a report.
Don't distract the coach, though.
Right,
He's got other things.
Well, I just wanted to take the pressure down because,
Gotcha.
I'm making such a big deal about this game. Coach, we appreciate your time this morning. We wish you the best of luck, and we look forward to you guys bringing back a victory tomorrow morning.
Thank you, man, and I really appreciate the way you've given San Diego State the coverage you have, and you've been sensational. You've both been out watching us play, so you're not just speaking from film clips. You're speaking from having been there, so we appreciate that, too.
Coach, it's our pleasure. Thanks very much.
Okay, guys. See ya.
All right, good luck. Coach Fisher, San Diego State tonight.